raised the timing of legislation for an open competition for the appointment of Secretary General and Clerk of the Dáil and the overhaul of the TLA system. That legislation, Deputy Martin wrote to the Taoiseach, sent a comprehensive letter to the Taoiseach on the 3rd of July about the Public Service and Appointments Bill. Now, and this bill can be amended to ensure that there is a competition on merit to appoint officers of this House. Now, what I'm asking the Taoiseach is, does he intend to take this opportunity to amend that legislation to bring the process of appointment of officers of this House into the 21st century?
Before I call on the Taoiseach to answer this, I'm being dragged into a controversy over this matter, and I resent it very much. The 1959 Act was amended by the 2003 Act, which obliges me in law to perform certain functions. There were amendments to that Act in 2006 and 2009, and nobody made any changes. And I'm obliged by law, under the present 2003 Act, to perform certain duties. I tried to do so by calling a meeting of the commissioners, and they were briefed before the meeting. So the shambles that took place, I'm now in a very awkward position that I'm going to apply the 2003 Act, which I can, where I do not exercise my right, and that'll be a matter for the Taoiseach, in accordance with that Act. It's not the 59 Act, it's the 2003 Act that should be looked at. And I'm appearing in newspapers, people are leaking stuff following a consultation process that took place within the law, which the content of the leak was totally improper and incorrect, and an attempt to blacken my good name. I have to sit here and take this abuse without having any right of response. Now, this is not an order on the order of business. You can raise this matter in other fora, but not in here.
I'm not trying to reflect on you in any way.
Well, this is where the blame is coming.
Yeah, I regret that.
And I'm not taking it anymore.
I regret that, and I'm not directing my remarks at you in any shape or form. I'm simply asking the Taoiseach, is he going to take the opportunity to amend the legislation?
There is no promised legislation in this area.
There is a commitment, as I understand it.
There is no promised legislation in this area.
There's legislation there which can be used to amend the system.
I'm dealing with promised legislation under the order.
I understand that.
But there is promised legislation, Public Service and Appointments Act.
Not on this issue.
There is legislation which enables this issue to be dealt with.
This is the third or fourth time this matter has been raised on your side of the House. Obviously being briefed, and I'm the piggy in the middle.
Look, there's nobody briefing me in
We're entitled to raise issues in relation to public appointments.
Yes, we are.
Okay,
absolutely.
So
I'm asking the Taoiseach.
The Minister for Holland.
We're not talking about the appointment.
The Minister Holland promised to bring forward legislation. That's what we're asking. Nothing else.
Minister Howland, under the 2003 Act, has no role in this matter.
He has a role in other legislation. He's the Minister for Public Service Reform. He's the Minister who can bring in legislation to govern the
Deputy,
public officials.
you're not on your feet. You're on call.
This isn't personal.
Taoiseach, you're going to answer the thing about the Public Appointments Commission or whatever it is.
It's not personal.
Thank you.
It's a matter of what's right.
Would you please resume your seat? Thank you.
I respect the complete independence of the Cairn in this fashion, and I regret the fact that there have been comments attributed in sections of the media about the Cairn. He has a constitutional responsibility to chair this House in a proper fashion, which he does. I can confirm to Deputy O'Dea that the Minister will bring a memo to government very shortly on this matter. It's our ambition to have an open and transparent conclusion to this matter.
Deputy Fitzpatrick.